everybody, Candy here.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Hey, everybody. Hey, Jessica Hicks. Hey, Gigi's Gluten Free. Y'all ladies up late tonight. Lordy, Lordy. How y'all doing? Thank you so much for coming. Did you all? Hi, Barry Johnson. You'll catch the replay. Thank you, Barry. Thank you so much for coming. Oh my God, you guys. I shared Barry Johnson's live from earlier today. If you guys want to check the community tab, he had an awesome guest speaker there. I believe her name was Tech Valor. Oh my God, she popped so much wisdom on branding and websites and just helping to make our platforms great. So definitely check that out if you guys get a chance. I am in the ads on my own dang live. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to get in there because I'm trying to look at the comments on my phone because y'all know how StreamYard be lagging. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Hold on. Let me try to adjust this volume and get on in there so I can speak. Tech Valor, that's her name. She was awesome, Barry. Oh my God. Okay, I want to address and acknowledge all of y'all that came. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, good. You guys can hear me. Cool. All right. Well, happy Saturday night, everybody. Happy Saturday night. I apologize. Look, let me just let y'all know. Hold on. Hey, I'm feeling under the weather, guys. That's why I'm hiding behind my avatar. So back behind the avatar I go, okay? All right. So I wanted to let y'all know I'm a real person. I'm here. And let's see who's up in here. Jessica Hicks, Gigi's Gluten Free, Barry Johnson, Melanie, the moderator. Good evening, and thank you so much for being here. Marla Music Channel, thank you so much for being here. Lily's Crochet, aka Lisa, is in the ads. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you guys all so much for popping in tonight. You guys, I just finished watching the Wendy Williams movie on Lifetime, specifically for the purposes of review, recap, and reaction. You know, of course. Barry, thank you so much again for coming in. I understand if you got to go. Still trying to bring the comments up. Okay, there you guys go. There y'all go. So as usual, y'all, this is something new that I've been doing. Y'all know I normally don't go live in the evening. But when they have these good movies on like this, I found that with the Salt and Pepper biopic, it came on Lifetime last week, and I did a live reaction recap to that, and it actually went really well. I got some great interaction. I got some great feedback, and a lot of people showed up. It actually piqued a lot of people's interest. I expected it to be just me here, so this, I said, you know what? This is Wendy, so this is going to probably be larger. So whether it's a large crowd or a small crowd, I'm grateful for all of you all taking the time out on your Saturday evening to come pop in and chat with me. This is an open chat, so definitely feel free to chime in. So, first of all, thank you so much, Marlon. Oh, that is so sweet of you, Marlon. Marlon says, welcome to the stream, everyone. Remember to thumbs up and share the stream for Pandy's Hair Candy and more. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Marlon. Marlon is awesome. Oh, my goodness. So, yes, y'all, please, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and blow dry on that like button. I would greatly appreciate it. And, oh, wait, Marlon says, it's so funny that you mentioned Salt and Pepper when we were just in Miss Full Roller's stream. She rated you. Oh, this is irate. Thank you, Miss Full Roller. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Miss Full Roller is awesome as well, y'all. And you all know that. Miss Full Roller is the business. Yeah, I was watching the movie, so that's why I wasn't in her music stream. Because usually I'm there playing trivia. So, since I know that you guys were over there, you probably, of course, didn't get a chance to catch the movie tonight. But I found it very fascinating because I'm going through my notes. You know, Wendy's big. Wendy's kind of like a big deal. And I'm kind of late to the Wendy party. Okay. I was familiar with who Wendy was. I knew of her. I would say I was a teen to a young lady coming up in the height of Wendy's reigning career, like in the late 90s to the early 2000s when she was popping on the radio. I was a young buck. I was probably in my late teens, just about to enter my 20s. Okay, because she's like literally my mother's age. So I wasn't really into Wendy. Like my mom could tell you more about Wendy than I could. But ironically and strangely enough, when Wendy came out with her talk show, my 19-year-old daughter became a huge Wendy fan. And so she would always be telling me all the shenanigans and the escapades about what was going on the Wendy show. And so she kind of piqued my interest and got me back into watching Wendy Williams. So that's a little side story. Hey, Miss Full Roller, thank you so much for the raid. She's in the ads, y'all. Miss Full Roller coming in. So let me just tell y'all how it began and what went on. And hopefully somebody that has watched it will come on in. Hi, Tracy Herbert. Welcome in. Tracy, did you get a chance to check out the biopic? And what'd you think? I was actually just watching, after the biopic went off, a documentary came on immediately following with the real Wendy giving the full tea. And I must say, it was very interesting. It was supposed to be over by 11, but it's still going on. And so, of course, I got up and came in here to the computer because I'm like, you know what? I already have this live stream set up. So let me get in here and start on time. Let me start off by first saying that Lifetime did a much better job on this Wendy Williams movie than was done on the Salt and Pepper movie from last week. What a difference a week makes. Okay. Also, they mentioned that next weekend there's going to be a biopic on Whitney Houston and Bobby Christina titled We Almost Had It All. I'm like, oh my goodness, what is Lifetime doing with all these biopics? And why are they doing it with all the black artists? I digress. That was just a question that popped up just now in my head. But anyway, so that's first and foremost. That was my first reaction. I immediately noticed, hey, it's all hot air. Thank you so much for coming in here. I went looking for your birthday live and I could not find it at all. And then later on that night at like 2:00 in the morning, it popped up in my recommendations. So I watched your entire replay on Real Mama's Real Problems channel, girl, and you are so loved. It was beautiful. I saw all the birthday wishes and all the birthday love. So happy belated birthday, Andrea. And thank you so much for popping in. Um, what was I saying? I just wanted to say that I was like, dang, I wish I could have been there. You guys look like you really had a good time. Um, okay, so y'all, I'm so sorry. I keep saying I'm working on that. I'm working on that. But I wanted to say that right off the bat, the Wendy Williams story, the movie tonight was way better. The presentation, the format, how it flowed and followed the story based on what I know and what I've read over the years on Wendy, it was better. You know, that was my first reaction. It was much better presented. I liked it. The girl who played Wendy, oh my God, I thought I wrote her name down. It's in the description box, y'all. Let me look real quick because I forget. The girl who played Wendy is Ciera Payton. And the guy, the actor who played Kevin Hunter, is Morocco Omari. When I tell you these actors are dead on Wendy and Kevin, oh my God. First of all, this lady has Wendy, she embodied Wendy Williams with the accent, the figure, the complexion, the wigs. So she was dead on. Like they couldn't have found a more perfect person to play the part. Okay. And the movie begins with us seeing a young Wendy as a young girl growing up in New Jersey. And her childhood started off kind of rough, right? It was rough in the sense, not necessarily like she had a rough upbringing or anything like that, but it was rough in the sense that her parents were always nitpicking with her about her size and her weight. And for me, it was kind of weird because I'm a plus size girl. You know, I ain't no obese girl, but I'm a plus size girl. And I'm used to kids being healthy. So what they were getting on her about was very weird for me because I'm just like, she's an average girl, you know? Like I have 3 young adult children and I just wouldn't have said she was healthy or fat or obese or whatever. But for whatever reason, it seems apparent that her parents are a little older and they were very conscious. They were very self-conscious with her about her weight to where she had severe anxiety as a child and she would wet the bed. She was also like often the largest child in her class, but she was also often the only black child in her class. So when you take a healthy black child and you're at a primarily all white school, you're going to stand out. Okay. So I feel like she had a lot of anxiety as a child. That's what was demonstrated. And it was very well demonstrated in tonight's movie. Hi, Team Gravely. Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. I'm just recapping the Wendy Williams movie tonight, and then you guys can definitely feel free to chime in at any time. Oh, you're watching now. Okay, Tracy Herbert, got you. Well, hopefully I won't give you any spoilers. It's pretty much all the stuff we know, but I love the presentation. It was so good. Now, as a child, because of going through all that, you know, her parents were constantly on her about her size, her weight. The students, which were primarily white kids, were always teasing her as a child. They considered her big for her age. So she was going through all that. She pretty much set her sights on radio as a child. They would be in the store shopping or whatever, and her mom would, you know, be paying for the groceries. And she was one of those kids that was glued in to the tabloids. You know how they have them at the registers there, like the Enquirer or Star, all that. It's weird because I used to do the same thing. And look at me now. I love being up in the business, right? So it's kind of like that same thing. It's all hot air. I felt bad too because it was like she wasn't big. She was a healthy girl, but I didn't feel like she was obese or anything. But anyway, she had a lot of issues going on there. So she kind of set her sights on, you know, she imagined herself. She envisioned herself being there as an adult. So once she set her sights on radio, She got out of her parents' house. She went off to school. She landed her first radio gig with Kathy Hughes in DC. That was big time, you know. But the problem with that came, she would do like these overnight shifts from 2 in the morning to like 5 in the morning, or 2 in the morning to 6 in the morning. And what she started doing, because she had all that pressure of being told she was fat and overweight, she started dabbling with the coke. And we all know Wendy Williams has, she's never hid the fact that, she was into coke. So we got to see that expressed in the movie tonight, and she was straight up with it. And I appreciate that, because this movie didn't cut it out. Like, she let it be known. She was narrating in her own voice. Hi, Jessica Hicks. Thank you so much for being here. She let it be known that these were her real struggles and her real demons. Okay, Marlon, thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for sharing and welcoming and greeting everyone. I really appreciate that. Thank you. So we saw Wendy start dabbling with the coke, right? She then got so money hungry, and she had her sights set on, she wanted to be in New York, because remember, she's from Jersey. She took the job, the first radio gig, it was in DC. Well, then what she ended up doing was taking a second job, which was in New York, but it was part-time. This was at 103.5 in New York. So she would drive all the way to New York on the weekends, and then go back to DC and work full-time Monday through Friday. So she was hustling hard. That's why I say all the time, love her or hate her, put some respect on Wendy Williams' name, because she straight earned her keep, okay? So she was doing that. And then finally, she actually landed the job full-time at 103.5, which later went on to become Hot 97, okay? She was doing good. She was getting the numbers. She was getting the ratings. And the reason why Wendy stood out and, she was the master of her craft is because she was like what we call a shock jock. Like, what was his name? Howard Stern. She would take her love and her fascination with what she was reading in the tabloids, and she would insert that into her radio broadcast. And during those times, that was completely unheard of. That was completely unheard of. And, some people were cool with it and others were very uncomfortable with it. But Wendy Williams, she had her sights set. She didn't care. She was out to make a name for herself, and she wanted to go all the way to the top. And then you take that and you add a little coke to it, and I mean, you already know. So that was basically what was going. That's basically what was going on. Yes, the shock element, right, Miss Full Roller? So she was popping. And then, of course, they showed that job then came to an end. She was crushed. She didn't understand. But being the diehard hustler that Wendy was, she literally, said, forget it. If y'all want to get rid of me, I'm going to go seek after. She had mentioned as a child, her idol, when she first started setting her sights on radio, was Carol Ford. Now, that is completely beyond my time. I don't know who Miss Carol Ford is, but I'm taking it based on the movie that she was a big-time radio personality, and that's who she aspired to be. She looked up to her. So she literally, once she got fired from Hot 97, she drove to Kiss, what do they call it? Kiss FM. That's where Carol Ford was, okay? She went there every day for 2 weeks just trying to be noticed and get an interview with her radio producer. Finally, one day, Miss Ford was out of town after 2 weeks. She couldn't make it back in time to do her show. Hey, Really TT, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. So like I said, Wendy went there and was straight up stalking the lobby for 2 weeks straight trying to get an interview. Miss Carol was out of town. She wasn't going to be able to make it back to do her show, and her replacement fell through. So the producer had no choice but to come out and acknowledge the fact that she had been there, going hard, trying to get noticed for 2 weeks. He was like, you're on tonight. You better make me proud. So she went in there. He already knew she had the experience to do the job because she had been at all the other radio stations. But what Wendy did was she pulled that shock jock crap on the air in the middle of her broadcast. And he heard it as he was walking through the halls on the overhead. And he came back there and was like, "What do you think you're doing?" And she was like, "People want to know this." She was like spilling tea on Toto and Diddy, and she was all up in these people's business, okay? And she thought, "Oh my God, I'm about to get fired again." And it turned out, old boy loved it. He thought it was genius. It had never been done in their town, and he let her ride with it. He even created her own show and gave her a contract. So it was nice to see, they illustrated it and painted a picture for us to follow it along. So like I said, we got a chance to see her from her childhood, being very anxious, being made to feel not worth, and then growing into herself and her full personality. Okay, so that was dope. Now, what I found even more fascinating is after that, they gave her show with a contract. It was called Dish the Dirt. And that's exactly what Wendy's good at, okay? We all know that. So one day she was at a party or something, and Eric B. and Rakim was there. Now, I know some of y'all may not know who Eric B. and Rakim is, but I sure enough know. And I sure know there's a bunch of you all here that know, like this Full Roller, Marlon, Melanie, the moderator. I know y'all probably know who that is. So anyway, she ends up dating Eric B. from the group Eric B. and Rakim. I never knew that. That is one thing I never knew. And she dated him for like a year. So turns out he was playing her the whole time. He ends up pulling a move on her, runs off with the car and stays gone, makes her miss work. And she had never missed work. She had never been late. So I thought that was interesting how she slid that into the show. I don't know what the relevance was, but I thought it was interesting. Now, I might be the only one on the late freight because I never knew they dated. But anyway, after that little escapade, she goes to do another party. DJ Mr. C was DJing. She was hosting. And Kevin, looking like a straight up G, was sitting over there at the skating rink, scoping her out all night as she's hosting. He sends his phone number over. She calls him 2 days later. They hook up. They start kicking it. They around each other every day. And then next thing you know, Kevin and Wendy is inseparable. Now, yes, paid in full. Gigi, yes, Gigi, I forgot you was in here, Gigi. So you all know I was in shock. I'm like, Wendy was with Eric B. What? But okay, I digress. She ends up with Kevin, and we all kind of know their relationship had been very tumultuous, okay, and very publicly tumultuous and volatile. He was a street dude, and she comes from the suburbs. So, 9 times out of 10, the opposites really do attract, and she felt very safe and secure with him. She felt like even though he was hood, she felt like he had a heart. He had her best interest in mind, and he was her muscle, so to speak. Because remember, on the air, Dish the Dirt, Wendy was dishing the dirt on all these celebrities. Like, there was a time that I remember Whitney Houston threatened to come up to the radio station and open up a can of whoopee on Wendy Williams at one point in time. I think Chris Brown had some choice words for her at one point in time. So a lot of celebrities, like they showed in the movie tonight, Toto, the group Toto, they showed up to the radio station, hopped out the van on her one day when she was leaving work. So Kevin played his part with regards to having Wendy's back. Okay, being that street dude that he was. Now, thank you, really, TT. This movie was so good. It was so good. It was so entertaining. Miss Full Roller said, whoop, There it is. Yes, ma'am. It was so good. Now, the one thing that I will say also about Kevin, Kevin knew when he got with Wendy that she was in there doing her thing with the coke. And he never judged her for it. He never tried to belittle her. And he never made her, he never pressured her to stop either. But because he was so supportive of her and because he made her feel so safe and secure, he was a major influence, and she credits him to, being influential to her stopping. In the movie, she mentions that one day, just out of the blue, in 4 days period, she stopped cold turkey. And a lot of the people in the documentary were saying that, he was very influential with helping her kick the coke habit, which she had for several years. So I thought that was interesting too, because I know here on YouTube, there's been a lot of videos popping up about the recent passing of her mother and how she didn't even attend the funeral. You know what I'm saying? And people were even really whispering and spreading rumors because Big Kevin, the husband, came and escorted her to the services. So people were like, oh my God, is he going to squirm his way back in? Because, we all know they are now divorced because of the public, separation and the fallout, which led to the divorce because of the mistress popping up pregnant. So they kind of touched on the mistress a little bit in tonight's movie. Wendy kind of popped him a couple of times cheating. And then one of the boys, she sat down and questioned him, and he spilled the beans. And come to find out, that's how Wendy found out that Kevin had the lady living right in their dang subdivision, a few miles away from their house, in a nice mansion with a Rolls Royce Bentley. And then the lady popped up pregnant. And then during the time when she had her collapse on the air, what was that, year before last, when she fell out in the Statue of Liberty costume on the air, they showed her and Kevin having a conversation, and he suggested to her that maybe you go into rehab, because people on the show are starting to, think that you can't handle it anymore. So he convinces her to go into rehab. So while she's in rehab, they take away her cell phone and all her devices. Of course, they want to keep her isolated. Well, somebody sneaks her a cell phone, and that's when she saw those pictures that we all saw with him and the lady with her big pregnant belly. So I think it was that straw that broke the camel's back, that Wendy could no longer turn the other cheek, in my opinion, and stay dealing with a cheating husband. Now there's a baby on the way, and you got this lady living right down the street, and you guys are doing all this on my money? Because let's be real, Wendy is the breadwinner. Now, I think Kevin did have some side businesses and whatnot, but Wendy made the big bucks, legitimately, okay? So that had to crush her. Then prior to her having her son, Kevin Jr., she had tried to get pregnant with him before they got married, while they were dating, 3 times. 2 times she miscarried. 3rd time she had a stillborn birth. And I didn't know that when you have a stillborn, they still make you actually deliver the child. That has to be very devastating. So she had went through a lot with Kevin, but in the end, that was it for her. Like, she was over it. She wanted a divorce. They showed them get divorced. She regained control of her company. She went back. She spoke her truth. She actually gathered up everyone, let them know, Kevin is no longer going to be on the set. I'm going to be doing this. I've gone to rehab. I've had to get control of some things in my life. And pretty much that's where the movie ends. And it lets us, then that's when we go into seeing the real Wendy come out and kind of say, this is how I regained control of my life. And then the documentary came on. So the documentary is still playing as I speak in here. But it overall was a really good movie, you all. Really good movie. Like I said, whether you love or hate Wendy, I think they did an excellent job painting the narrative, letting us see it all, the good, the bad, the ugly, the in between. You know, she didn't try to sugarcoat. Um, and they let us see how, you know, she went through the struggle from a child to how she tried to climb her way to the top. Her work ethic was mad crazy. You know, although she did fall into the trap of the drugs, she did eventually get out. And even though the husband and her had a volatile relationship, he was influential in supporting her to get out of that particular hang up. You know what I mean? So I think the movie was outstanding. I think the actress they got to play her was dead on. The actor that played Kevin was dead on. I think it was a phenomenal presentation. I can't say, I mean, like the wigs were on point, the makeup was on point, the gaudy clothing. She had Wendy down. Hey, East Media, what's up? Thank you so much for popping in. Thank you, thank you, thank you all. So, what are y'all's thoughts? What are y'all's thoughts? Did you all, anybody see the movie besides me? Or am I the only one? That's pretty much my reaction, my recap, my review on the Wendy Williams movie. I think it was very well done. Very well done. The wigs were on point. Yes, Jessica, because if you got a chance to see that Salt and Pepper movie last weekend, them wigs were so not the business. They were so not the business. Like these wigs now, let me tell you something. Wendy Williams wigs are always on point. I don't care. And this lady's wigs in that movie, they were on point. Let me show this picture. This is the actress who played Wendy in the movie tonight. This is the actress who played Wendy. Her name is Ciera Payton. When she was in character, that's her on the bottom there as Wendy. She was dead on. She was like a dead ringer for Wendy. They couldn't have got a better actress to play the part. She did a phenomenal job. She did a phenomenal job. And then the guy they got to play, Kevin, his name was Morocco Omari. I didn't think to get pictures of him, but he did an outstanding job as well. I mean, it was really, really well put together tonight. Really well put together. You enjoyed the Wendy movie much better than the... Yes! Can we say that again, Tracy Herbert? I enjoyed this movie much better than the Salt and Pepper. And I love Salt and Pepper. But last weekend's movie just did not do them much justice. It was really a good production, really, TT. It was really a good production. I enjoyed it. I was glued to the TV. And I'm excited to talk about it. I would definitely watch it again. I would recommend it if you haven't seen it. I enjoyed it. I think it was really good. Like Wendy was straight up. She spoke her truth. And I love when these celebrities get up and speak their truth. Like, don't try to sugarcoat it when we already know the real. We already know the real. So when she was straight up and kept it a buck about everything that she was involved in during those times, I say put much respect on her name. Because you know they usually lie. But she kept it all the way real. And she showed us, you know, yeah, I fell down. I fell down a few times, but I kept getting back up. And she really did. She really did. Yeah, the documentary was really long, but I really wanted to finish watching the documentary because she was given the real there. The movie was good, though. I will say the movie was good. So if you all get an opportunity to check it out, definitely do so. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the commentary. Again, just sharing my perspective, giving my reaction. my recaps and the highlights. Another highlight I forgot to mention, she actually showed up to the girl's house and went and wrote Kevin plus Wendy forever on the lady's garage. I thought that was funny. But I mean, it was funny, but it wasn't funny. Because could you imagine? Okay, it's one thing to know that your husband is cheating, but to know that he didn't move the lady in right down the road into a fat crib and she out here pushing a Bentley? Really? But I'm the breadwinner. So where you get the money for that? You mean to tell me I'm paying for that too? That's crazy. That was crazy. So I say Kevin might have been lucky. That's all she did was spray paint on the garage. Okay. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Yes. Yes, the documentary was very entertaining. I'm going to have to definitely go back and check that out because I'm nosy like that. I'm nosy like that. I like to see these things and how they really play out. Let me see. Really, TT said, I have a feeling that even though I did not see Salt and Pepper, they could not agree on a lot of things. But as for Wendy, I'm happy that she did not sugarcoat her life because of her career and who we know. Exactly. Exactly. And honestly, you cannot be what is her show? The segment in her show is called Hot Topics. Okay, when she goes and sits down and tips that coffee mug and she starts going through those celebrities' personal business with a fine-tooth comb, they were not going to let her live if she tried to sugarcoat or, go around the mulberry bush. She was going to have to come through with the tea. And yes, it's all hot air. I agree with you 100%. She went through a lot to be with Kevin. And honestly, I feel like they had one of them dynamic relationships. Like Kevin is a hood dude. Okay. Kevin is a hood dude. And I believe that he really did love Wendy. I think he really did love Wendy. He probably still loved Wendy. But at the same time, he wasn't satisfied or whatever. And he knew that he could get away with certain things with Wendy. Now, the one thing that I kind of did question is Wendy said she didn't know about the women. I don't know. Based on different reports and blog sites and articles and different things, a lot of sources state, allegedly, keyword, allegedly, a lot of sources state that Wendy knew. And Wendy was good as long as it didn't come out in the public and it didn't embarrass her. And, unfortunately, there's a lot of women like that. They cool with it as long as you keep it on the low, And I feel like that's what happened in this situation. That's my opinion, okay? I don't know that to be factual. I'm just giving my perspective. But even through all of that, I feel like he felt remorseful because of the fact that she had the miscarriages and he knew how bad she wanted to have his children. Even when she had to give birth to the stillborn child, it was a daughter. So when this lady popped up very publicly pregnant and she had the daughter, I believe that crushed her. That crushed her. And of course, that's when we all know that's when she pushed for the divorce after she had taken him back many times before then. Yeah. Exactly. It's all hot air. That's what I'm saying. Okay, if he wasn't satisfied, that's fine. Okay, right. We all ain't gonna be satisfied. But if you ain't satisfied, then let's have a conversation and let's go our separate ways. I'll be dang about you going and spending my money though on the next chick. Really? No. That ain't cool. We ain't getting down like that. That was crazy. That's what I'm saying. Like, she could have snapped. Okay, and just shot up the joint. You don't know. That's what I'm saying. They lucky all she did was went and spray painted up on the little garage. Okay? That's all I'm saying. But yes, happy birthday to It's All Hot Air, Andrea. She had a awesome birthday live stream. She had lots of people come through and give her lots of love. It was so cute. It was so cute, and it looked like they had so much fun. As much tea as she spilled, she did not know. Right. Right, really, TT. That's why I'm like, girl, bye. I mean, no shade. Because, like I said, I have much respect to the lady. But I just don't personally believe you did not know, girl. You knew a lot. It was your business. You're in the business of knowing these things. And the way she was showing in the movie, like how she kept popping up on them and catching them. Oh, yeah. On her second property, she sure did. She sure did. She wanted the lady to know that she see her. Mm-hmm. But she's better than me because I wouldn't have just did that. But that's all I'm going to say. She's better than me. Exactly, Tracy Herbert. Tracy Herbert said, I'm glad she kept her son out of the movie when they had the fight. Right. Exactly. They didn't highlight that at all. You're so right about that. You were so right about that. And let's see. It's All Hot Air says, I think she divorced Kevin. She could not get past him having a baby on her. And it was a girl. Right. I agree with you on that one. It's All Hot Air. That, I think it was too much. It was too much. Like, I remember seeing those articles when they came out with him walking the lady to the car and then learning that she was supposedly this close family friend that I believe used to work for Wendy as like an assistant or something. Girl, can you imagine somebody that you done welcomed in, you done gave them a little job, you done put some change up in their pockets, and they laying up with your husband, and you done popped up and got pregnant? Now, I'm going to be mad at both of y'all, but I'm going to really be mad at you. I'm going to really be mad at you. Okay? I'm just saying. That ain't right. That ain't right. That ain't right. But I'm getting all excited, y'all. Let me go back to being all prim and proper. Okay? Yeah, it was the baby for Wendy, right? Really, TT. I agree. And, ooh, Miss Full Roller, you already know. If the situation matter of fact, Miss Full Roller, Wendy even said that towards the end of the show, there was a bodyguard that she was always up around. He was part of the security team. His name was James. He was a big old fine hunk of a man that used to escort her to and from her car, this, that, and the third. He was always with her. Well, Kevin fired him. Kevin fired him because he felt like they were getting too close. So you're absolutely correct. If the situation was reversed, he would not get past Wendy getting pregnant from another man. Message, okay? You're absolutely right. Ain't that something? But you done went and had a whole baby. A whole baby. And I think the killer part moved the lady right down the street. Like, you could go say, I'm going to go take a walk. Now, see, I teeter-totter on this because part of me feels like, and your wife don't know, and you could say you're going to go take a walk or a jog, and you really going over here to lay up down the street. But then part of me is like, nah, please. Wendy had to know. But girl, you crazy if you knew this lady was right down the street and you knew he was going over here chilling. Because in the movie, she acknowledged that she knew he had a condo. And she felt like she was cool with the condo because, she respected the fact that he was a street dude and, he used to hang out with his boys and they used to drink brown liquor and smoke blunts at the condo. Those were her words. So I'm just like, girl, first of all, ain't no married man got no condo or no apartment or no second residence of any type not going to be tempted into bringing no chicks up in there. She had also had another scene in there No, this was in the documentary before I came live. She talked about going in there and seeing the sheets all nasty, pulling the sheets back and seeing some panties in the bed that wasn't her size. I'm just like, girl, but you knew that he had this condo though. Like, are you kidding me? So I don't know. I don't know. It's too much. Too much. Too much. Yeah, that was the final straw. I agree with you all. I agree. Yo, Kevin was very messy, but apparently during the time when Wendy was reigning, like at the prime of her radio career, he was very well known in the streets in Jersey and in New York, and he was revered. Like he kept the goons up off of her. Because again, remember now, she was dishing the dirt. That was the title of her broadcast. So she was all up in these people's business and she was blurring it out on the number one radio show. So the celebrity, I mean, like she had put certain rappers out there as being gay and having homosexual affairs. You know, she put out business about Total being broke and living in the project. Like she was smearing some names for real. So I can imagine some people was wanting to get at her and lay some hands and not in the praying type of way. Okay. You know, and Kevin was like, he was truly the muscle. And I think that's why she says she felt safe with him. But unfortunately, when he became her manager and he started becoming more vocal, and she said he started becoming more vocal, but yet when it came down to like the business meetings, he would be late or he would be in there turning over tables in the conference room. Like you could take a person up out the hood, but you can't never take the hood up out the person. That's going to always be with you. I don't care if you move to the suburbs and get you a mansion. If you come from the hood is going to always be there. Now, you can turn it off and on when it's necessary, you know, but so it was a clash. It was a clash. And I feel like it started to just become more of in his viewpoint, okay, so this is just a work relationship. And because she was always working, because she was grinding, trying to, master her craft, he drifted off into the arms of somebody else. But then they said this relationship allegedly went on for about 16 years. So that again brings me back to the point. How could she not know? How could she not know? Especially when the lady lived right down the road. Come on now. I don't know. But I am very happy with the way the movie went. I like Wendy. She definitely still seemed like she's going through a lot, especially with her, the recent passing of her mother. And then I've been seeing little bits and pieces popping up in my timeline here on YouTube with her and the brother seeming to be going back and forth fighting. I ain't never clicked on none of his videos because I don't want that mess all up in my algorithm. But I heard they've been going hard at one another since the mama passed. And I'm just like, come on now. Your mama just passed and y'all fighting and carrying on a public social media app? Come on now. Yes. You didn't know all that, Jessica? Jessica, girl, I'll be paid. Look, I'll be all up in the celebrity business. It's so fascinating to me. It is so fascinating to me. I'll be all up in it. I ain't even gonna front. I'll be all up in it. Look, I don't have any more young children to look after. So when I have free time, I just flip through my remote and I go in there and chill. And then it be so much juice and tea. I be sitting there looking at the TV like, for real? Oh my goodness, for real? I didn't know that. And it's interesting. And as we can see, there's a lot of people out here interested, So yeah, but overall, the movie was great, y'all. If you all get a chance, I would say check it out. It was very well put together. The actors were A1, they were dead on them. And I love the fact that the movie was followed up by the documentary with Wendy herself, pretty much corroborating everything that was expressed in the show. So it was really good. Jessica said, I have no kids and I still don't care about their lives most of the time. Girl, I feel you on that. Now, I don't care about their lives now, but I be wanting the tea. The nosiness in me be wanting the tea. Pandy, movie back on again. I'm going to watch again. Okay. All right, Tracy. Thank you guys so much, though, for coming in and letting me get my little gift of gab on and out, because I wasn't able to go live last night for my Drop the Link day. I had an emergency situation arise, and it caused me to miss. So I'm glad I was able to come on and chop it up and chit chat with you all on tonight, even if it is just a little gossip, celebrity gossip, in the form of a recap, reactionary review on the Wendy Williams movie. I really enjoyed chatting with you all. I always appreciate when you guys chime back in. Yes, Jessica, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm hanging on in here. Keeping myself busy. Just trying to take it easy, but I'm good. Thank you for asking. So yeah, that was pretty much it in a nutshell. I am going to go on in here. Oh, it is 12 o'clock. I'm going to go on in here and chill because I hear my husband moving around in there, probably wondering when I'm going to get off this computer. So I'm going to go on in here and call it a night. Thank you all so much for hanging with me. If you guys did not do so on your way in, thank you, Marlon. If you all did not do so on your way coming in, please don't forget to blow dry on that like button for your girl, okay? Now, February is approaching. February is the shortest month of the year. And that's when they give us Black History Month. But we going to make the most out of it. I'm going to make it do what it do. I've got some videos already lined up and ready to rock and roll, so you all stay tuned. I will be dropping several informational pieces on little-known Black history facts, just something to wake your mind up, because, I don't just do the celebrity gossip. I'm Pandy's Hair Candy and more. I'm full of content and full of ideas, so y'all stay tuned. You all be blessed. Stay safe out there. Continue to social distance. Continue to practice all your proper sanitation procedures and things like that. And just be very careful, guys. Okay? Until next time, you all have a wonderful evening. Okay? Thank you all so much for coming through and kicking it with your girl. I hope that you guys enjoyed yourself. And if you have not already, don't forget to blow dry on my like button. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? It is free 99 after all. Make sure you double tap on that notification bell so that you are notified each and every time I go live over here and when new content is added to the channel. Until next time, stay safe, everybody. Stay encouraged. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.